Imagine this. You're working your absolute heart out toward a goal, right? I mean, you can literally taste the success. You've basically mapped out your entire life's trajectory based on this one single outcome. And then, bam, out of nowhere, it just completely falls apart. A sudden setback, a brutal rejection, a staggering failure. We have all been there, and let's be totally honest with each other. It hurts. It physically aches in your chest. But what if the very thing causing you pain right now is actually the exact mechanism designed to propel you forward? Today, in this explainer, we're going to completely flip how you view failure. We're going to look at the hidden architecture of setbacks and learn how one simple, tiny shift in perspective can transform a devastating loss into your absolutely greatest advantage.
So what really happens to us when we fail? I want you to think about a recent rejection or disappointment you've experienced in your own life. Just feel the visceral emotional weight of it for a second. Psychologically speaking, failure often feels like a literal physical barrier. It feels exactly like a massive, heavy oak door has just been slammed forcibly shut right in your face. The lock turns with a loud click. The path you're so confidently walking down, it's suddenly completely blocked. You're just left standing there in the hallway, totally stunned, staring at the wood, wondering what on earth you did wrong. It's a heavy, deeply isolating feeling, and it demands all of your attention. You just kind of want to keep knocking on it, hoping they'll let you back in.
That right there, that's what we call staring at the closed door. When we find ourselves stuck in front of this door, just totally paralyzed by the sting of rejection, we usually try to comfort ourselves. Or, our friends swoop in and try to comfort us with a very familiar, almost cliché phrase. You know the exact one I'm talking about. We hear it after rough breakups, after job losses, after those unexpected college rejections. We just toss it out there almost automatically into conversation, really just because we want to quickly ease the sting of that blocked path. Okay, let's dive into this. The phrase is, of course, when one door closes, another door opens. The standard definition here is pretty simple. It's the concept that loss or failure directly leads to new opportunities. In plain English, it means that when you fail at one thing, you're going to soon have a chance to succeed at something completely different. It's meant to be this comforting pat on the back, encouraging us not to just throw in the towel when things go terribly wrong. But what if I told you that by only using this first half of the phrase, we're actually missing the most crucial, life-changing part of the whole lesson? Seriously, there is an enormous secret hidden in this quote that almost everyone completely ignores. Section 1. The inventor's hidden warning. To understand what we're missing here, we really have to look at the phrase's actual author. See, this wasn't coined by some modern motivational speaker on the internet. It was actually spoken by Alexander Graham Bell, the legendary inventor of the telephone. Now, think about Bell's life for just a second. He was a man deeply familiar with the agonizing trial and error of scientific discovery. I mean, in science, you face 100 closed doors before you find a single open one. He knew failure intimately. And because of that, he actually attached a profound hidden warning to this famous phrase. His full quote actually says, "When one door closes, another door opens. But we so often look so long and so regretfully upon the closed door that we do not see the ones which open for us." Wow. Let that sink in for a second. The forgotten second half of Bell's quote completely changes the paradigm. It points out that human psychology, not the universe, is often to blame for us feeling stuck. The universe is opening new doors, the opportunities are literally right there, but you can't see them because your back is turned to them. You are just too busy staring at the failure to notice the victory waiting right behind you. Let's break down the psychology of this staring. On one hand, we have focusing on the past, the closed door. In psychology, there's actually a specific term for this. It's called ruminating. Ruminating is basically just putting your brain on a giant hamster wheel of regret. It's staring so intensely at what you lost, replaying the mistakes over and over and over again, that you become entirely blind to what you could gain, which is the alternative, focusing on the future and the open door. By refusing to let go of the setback, you're literally robbing yourself of the ability to spot the new opportunity. It's a biological blind spot created by your own regret. So the absolutely crucial point here is, how do we actually force ourselves to turn around? Section 2. How to spot open doors. We need to transition from historical philosophy into an actionable, practical protocol. Because, hey, it's one thing to say, just stop looking at the closed door, but it is entirely another thing to actually do it. When your heart is broken or your career is derailed, we need a systematic way to override our natural instinct to ruminate. So here is your exact step-by-step roadmap for turning around. Step 1. Force your focus to the future. When you catch yourself ruminating, actively interrupt that thought. Just stop it in its tracks. Step 2. Remember, it's not the end. Zoom out.
This disappointing experience is just one chapter in your life, not the entire story. Step 3, practice gratitude for what actually remains. Step 4, be kind to yourself. Beating yourself up acts like superglue, keeping you permanently stuck to the past. And finally, step 5, acknowledge your positive traits. Remind yourself of your actual skills and worth so you have the confidence to just walk right through the next door the second it swings open. Now, I really want to double down on steps 3 and 4 for a moment because they are basically the engines driving this entire process: gratitude and self-compassion. Listen, these aren't just fluffy wellness buzzwords. They are incredibly powerful, scientifically backed psychological tools. Keeping a gratitude journal physically rewires your brain to look for the good in your environment, which forcibly detaches you from the disappointment. Combine that with self-compassion, forgiving your own missteps instead of acting as your own worst critic, and suddenly, you release the heavy anchor that's been weighing you down. You shift your focus forward, clearing your vision to spot those brand new opportunities that are just hiding in plain sight. Section 3, the silver lining framework. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that this psychological shift isn't just an isolated quote from a 19th century inventor. It's actually a fundamental human truth encoded right across our entire culture. As a society, we instinctively know that rumination destroys potential. So we've built this entire arsenal of common phrases to help each other cope with setbacks and force this exact perspective shift. It's really incredible how this maps perfectly to our everyday experiences. Think about it. When you face tough situations, what does society tell you? When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. When you face general disappointments, we remind each other every cloud has a silver lining. And when you go through a totally devastating breakup, what do your friends instantly say? There are plenty of fish in the sea. Despite having totally different metaphors, all 3 of these frameworks serve the exact same psychological function as Bell's quote. They are designed to snap you out of your rumination. They are mental crowbars meant to pry your eyes away from the closed door and literally force you to look for the open one. Section 4, your next open door. All right, let's bring this directly into your reality. The theory is fascinating, sure, but the application is where your life actually changes. I want you to think about your own recent setbacks right now. The promotion you didn't get, the relationship that ended, the creative project that completely flopped. You have a choice in how you respond. You can stand in that hallway, staring at the heavy oak wood, knocking endlessly on a lock that is literally never going to turn. Or you can take a deep breath, practice a little self-compassion, and make the conscious choice to pivot your attention. Which brings me to the absolute most important question of this entire explainer. What open door are you currently missing because you're still staring at a closed one? I really, really want you to think about that after this explainer ends. The universe, or just the chaotic, ever-changing nature of life, has highly likely already opened a brand new path for you. Maybe it's a job with way better benefits, a school that's just a better fit, or maybe it's just the profound freedom to rediscover who you actually are. The door's already open. The light is already pouring in. You just have to be willing to turn around and see it.